Okay, so I just got done watching Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick, and all I can really say right now is I really want a mustache. Okay, so yes, I saw Top Gun for the first time. Actually, it was yesterday that I saw it for the first time, and I wanted to do a quick review about it. So I was never into Top Gun. It just never seemed like a movie that I really wanted to watch. It didn't seem like anything that was gonna go on my radar. I wasn't too interested in a movie about like jets and planes and stuff like that. It didn't seem like the type of like action movie or the 80s movie that I really wanted to see. It really recently just came up to me that I've slowly have becoming more of a Tom Cruise fan. I've always respected him, but not as much as I have now. I just feel like he's really putting in a lot of effort now, especially now that he's a lot older. So it was just a movie that never came to me. It wasn't anything that I was truly interested on, and just because of the reviews from Top Gun Maverick, I grew an interest on it. So I decided, why not? I'll just check it out on Netflix real quick, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I love Top Gun. It was this great movie. Why I loved it. Honestly, I don't think I probably have to explain too much as to like why I loved it, because I think, it's a fan favorite to a lot of people. It's a classic, especially a lot of people that grew up with it. Clearly, I didn't grow up with it, but I really enjoyed the characters. The character Maverick, Goose, Iceman, pretty much the cast and the supporting cast. I think they all really just did a really fun job at making everything seem so organic. Like these characters, there's something about them. I believe like they're real. You really feel like with the about like 2-hour runtime that you really get to know them very well, and you really get to see the friendship that they have with each other, especially Maverick and Goose. And I really think that's where the heart of the movie is at, because all the scenes with like the jets, and I forgot what they were called, but I'm just gonna call them jets. But all the scenes with that, to me, it wasn't really that interesting. I was more interested in everything that was going down on the ground, on the floor, because the action scenes, while I think there were some good camera tricks, I still wasn't interested. There were a few times where I was a little lost. I didn't really know what was going on. So I think the sequel improved on that a lot. But besides that, it was really just seeing like the guys hanging out, and Maverick finding his love life, which in the sequel is in a way like retconned, and I'm not too big of a fan from like some of the behind the scenes stuff as to why they decided to change actors. But I'm trying to think of like what some new stuff that I can say as to why I love this movie that hasn't been said before. I really think it's a good story. It's really the characters that got me interested. Like Maverick, he just seems like such a ladies' man, but at the same time, he's like this wild card. A lot of people don't trust him. A lot of people don't want to work with him. But at the same time, you can understand why Goose loves him so much, why they're such close friends. And it's like this good question that, like, at the end of the day, like, yes, he's a wild card, but he's also willing to risk it all just to save your life. And like, would he be somebody that you would want covering your back while you're up in the air and being attacked by other planes or jets? I'm sorry, I'm not like good with that stuff, so I know I'll butcher that. So it really like raises the question to a lot of all the other pilots that, like, do we want Maverick? Is Maverick good? Like, obviously he's good, but he's careless and he's more of a show off. And there's some backstory about that, like with his father and whatnot. But yeah, I think they really like nailed the character of Maverick, and like I really understood who he was within those 2 hours. And I'm gonna talk spoilers, of course, because I mean this movie's been out for over 30 years. So the death scene of Goose, man, wow, that I was just watching, I was enjoying it, and for the most part, it's like this really lighthearted, fun movie that you can kind of, in a way, there's some mature parts, but you can bring your kids to watch it. And then the death of Goose, wow, that broke my heart. I don't know, I wasn't expecting it. To me, it came out of nowhere. I was just having such a good time. I was enjoying all the characters, and then once you got that tragedy, it really like struck. There was a point where I was just like zoned in. I was just having a good time, and I didn't think anybody was gonna get hurt. I didn't think anything serious was gonna happen. I just didn't seem like that type of movie. And then once Goose died, like that played a huge part in pretty much the rest of the movie. as to, you know, Maverick, will he come back? Will he be able to recover from this? And I think they did a great job. Like, it was very quick. Goose died. He got hit, and he died quickly. And it was kind of like, for the second half, it was like this redemption story of like, can Maverick come back? And I think they did like a really good job at really showing you the pain of losing someone like that. You know, first to Maverick, you know, losing his best friend, and to Goose's family as well. I think they did a really good job at like showing his family before he died, how they were happy, and then showing them after, and how much, you know, how hard it would be for Maverick to look into the eyes of Goose's wife and his kid and tell him that like something happened, even though it wasn't his fault, just something like that, how difficult it would be. I think they did a really good job with that, establishing that this movie just had a lot of heart. You know, you have the infamous volleyball scene. It's just so much fun. I really enjoyed it. You know, Iceman, Val Kilmer. Oh man, talk about, you know, in the sequel, that got to me. But just these characters, because they're really, in my opinion, there really is no villain. You know, the villain is Maverick himself. You know, he's the hero, but he's also the villain. He's fighting against himself. It's not whether he can do this or not. He can do it. He can clearly succeed in whatever it is he needs to do. He can clearly be number one. It's just the fact that he himself is careless. So it's this almost kind of like, in a way, redemption story about like Maverick trying to beat himself, trying to be better than himself, while trying to get rid of some of the bad qualities about himself, but also it's just enhancing some of the really good qualities, because he is a great pilot. And I think Iceman is like, in a way, sort of a smaller villain, but he's not really the villain, because he's kind of like, in a way, he's the voice of reason, and he kind of just explains to Maverick like, hey, you know, you can't be careless out there, you know, and it makes like Iceman seem like a little baby, like a kiss ass, you know, he's like this rule follower, but at the same time, you can't argue with that, because it's true, you know, Maverick is careless, and he is putting other people in danger, and Iceman he's really just telling the truth, so you can't see him as the villain. And then at the end of the movie, you know, when they become friends, especially, you know, more towards Top Gun Maverick, you really understand how their friendship grew, why, you know, they're two different people, two different ends, and I think they did a really good job at showing how they become friends, and you know why they didn't like each other from the start. And you got like two big egos going up against each other. I think that's funny. You know, there's something cheesy about that, but I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I was. I thought I was like, okay, maybe I'll think the first Top Gun is gonna be, it's okay, maybe because I didn't grow up with it, I didn't have this crazy connection to it. I'm probably not gonna like it as much as everybody else did, because of course they grew up with it. They have a lot of nostalgia towards it. And then when I saw it, I was just blown away at just how entertained I was. Like I was hooked. I thought I was just gonna watch and be like, okay, I'll watch this first one. Because I didn't grow up with it, I'm not gonna enjoy it as much as everybody else. But hopefully I'll love Top Gun Maverick because everybody's talking about how good it is. And no, I loved this movie. This movie was great. I had a great time. I'm embarrassed to say that it took me so long. And really, I want that mustache. I need to get one of those goose or, you know, rooster mustaches, because I think those are badass, but I can't really grow anything, so that kind of sucks. But yes, that is pretty much my review on Top Gun. I can't believe it took me this long to even watch the movie. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I already saw the sequel, and spoiler alert, I loved it too, just as much. But I'll talk more about that in my Top Gun Maverick review, which I'm about to do right now. But yeah, thanks for watching. And then after that, hopefully I can do my ranking video for the DCU villains. I know I've been talking about that for a while, but I think I'll probably do that after my Top Gun Maverick review. So I'll put out these two. And again, you know, thanks for watching.